All right, so people are saying, with all these outbursts and now Kanye's on TMZ and going to different media outlets, people are saying that Kanye's trolling. And I've always said this, Kanye is not trolling. Kanye's been acting like this for 10 years. Kanye believes what he says and says what he believes. This is not trolling. This is a part of who he is. Now, this is calculated. And of course, this is marketing because he's coming out with several projects regarding his albums, collaborations, upcoming, releases of his clothing line, Yeezy. So he's doing this in a calculated fashion for various media outlets and things of that nature. He's saying this to obviously bring up his name and controversy and things of that nature. But again, don't lose sight of this. He's not trolling. This is who he is. This is who Kanye West is. He's always been like this for 10 years, ever since his mom died. That's my observation. He's been acting crazy and he's been compromised for 10 years. All right. So he truly believes what he says when he says slavery for 400 years was a choice. First of all, it's a misnomer that it's the inception of the transatlantic slave trade started in 1505. So it's well over 500 years. So it's not 400 years. And I don't have to break down slavery being a choice. We all know it wasn't a choice. Okay. We all know that. And then he confirms that he loves number 45, aka Donald Trump, aka Clockwork Orange, amongst other things, talking about he was on drugs and opium, all this stuff. Again, this is to bring up his name in search engines and algorithms so people like myself, media outlets, and other people on social media can talk about him and bring up his name. And at the end of the day, it's working. But again, this is what he believes. All right. What I like to call this is, again, Kanye is too far gone in his mental disorders, cognitive dissonance, post-traumatic slavery disorder or syndrome, and it's a plethora of other mental illness that this guy has. Stockholm syndrome as well. Right. But again, he says what he believes and believes what he says. What I like to call this is he is displaying, has been displaying, basically the coon caricature. He is a caricature, the precise caricature of a coon. He's way past a Sambo stage. He is that of a coon caricature. He wants to be white so bad, right? He's willing to do any and everything to be accepted by the dominant white society. And the fact that the dominant white society doesn't see black people, has never seen black people as equal, that they've always seen black people as inferior. But he's willing to do any and everything to be accepted by the dominant white society. Right? And here's a couple things. I like to visit this site, and I'm eventually go to this. I'm eventually go here. I'm gonna eventually go to the Jim Crow Museum, or the Racist Memorabilia Museum at Ferris University. I believe it's in Big Rapids, Michigan. But I always reference the site when it comes to breaking down the history of, they have a lot of racist and Jim Crow era and just slavery artifacts that you can reference and look at, and a lot of historical documents when it comes to that. It's just a great place to reference, right? But I'm going to read to you a definition. There's several definitions, but this basically describes what Kanye is going through right here. And this is from the Coon Caricature. This is a very nice post by the professor of sociology at the Jim Crow Museum. So it says here, Unlike Mammy and Sambo, Coon did not know his place. He thought he was as smart as white people. However, his frequent malaproposums, hopefully I butchered, and I'll butcher that name, but I think it's malaproposums, and distorted logic suggested that his attempt to compete intellectually with whites was pathetic. All right. His use of bastardized English delighted white audiences and reaffirmed the commonly held beliefs that blacks were inherently less intelligent. The minstrel Coon's goal was leisure, and his leisure was spent strutting, styling, fighting, avoiding real work, eating watermelons, and making a fool of himself. If he was married, his wife dominated him. If he was single, he sought to please the flesh without entanglements. All right, so that right there, what I just read, perfectly describes Kanye to a T. All right? White society's laughing at this guy. He's thinking he can speak intellectually to white society, but they think he's pathetic. They're laughing at him. Number 45, aka Clockwork Orange, aka Donald Trump, is laughing at this guy. White society, people like Donald Trump, use this guy's notoriety and fame just to say, hey, I know this black guy named Kanye West, so let's do a photo op. You see, I took a picture with this black guy right here. I'm not racist, right? So white society, of course, they view Kanye as a fool, inferior on every category, et cetera, right? He's married to Kim Kardashian. His wife dominates this guy, just like this definition perfectly explains. He does any and everything to be accepted by the dominant white society. Marry a Kardashian. Be dominated and controlled by your wife. Right? Just doing things to please white society. And in this video here, when he said 400 years was a choice, I'm not going to play the audio due to copyright. But where was it at? I wanted to capture his face. Where a dude said, where Kanye was like, 400 years was a choice. But this dude's face right here, I don't know, I can't think of the guy's name, but one of the TMZ guys. He was in disbelief. I'm like, really? You said that? But like I said, this is calculated marketing of things that Kanye truly believes. He's trying to collaborate with that chick Candace Owens, who thinks slavery is a thing of the past, and we should move past that, and saying that unarmed black men, women, and children getting gunned down and legally lynched and executed by suspected race soldiers has nothing to do with race. It's like going to the racist Jim Crow museum, the racist memorabilia museum out in Big Rapids, Michigan, and saying all this stuff that white people did and white people created doesn't exist. It's useless, right? I mean, look at some of the stuff that white society has created. They had something called where did I see this at? Let me go back. Yeah, niggerhead oysters. All right. This stuff was coming out in the 1800s and 1900s. Okay, this stuff is real. Niggerhead oysters. Says name change of the week under repeated pressure brought by the NCAA. NAACP, the canning company of Biloxi, Mississippi, changed the name of its oysters to old name Niggerhead Brand, the new image Niggerhead Brand. Oh, Negro Head Band. Okay. See that? I'm just reading this stuff for the first time. I'm like, this. Okay, this is what white society has done. Niggerhead oysters went from nigger to Negro. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of interesting stuff at this site, and I'm gonna. If anybody has gone here, I would suggest if anybody has not gone here, I would suggest you make a trip out there if you're interested in finding out, actual artifacts during the time of the Jim Crow era, slavery, antebellum slavery, etc. Chattel slavery, all that stuff is located here at the Jim Crow Museum of Racist Memorabilia. I like going to this site just to reference a whole bunch of things, man. It's good stuff. Really good stuff. They break down a whole bunch of stuff regarding, coon caricatures and, just all kinds of artifacts that you can reference, right? It's like I said, it's really good stuff. Really good stuff. Right here, this image right here, you see this? All this stuff right here. This is what they do to, they've been trying to demonize black men for hundreds of years by painting the Negro, the big bag nigger, next to the damsel in distress, aka the slave master's daughter. Right? See how they associate that with the slave master's daughter? Right? So, but yeah, like I said, going back to Kanye, again, this is exactly how he feels. He truly believes what he says. This is not trolling. He really believes what he's saying. He is doing this, of course, to spark controversy. Because what a troll does, their whole thing is they just want to get a reaction out of you. What they're doing, right, is fraudulent. They don't really believe what they're saying, or what they're doing, rather. They don't really believe what they're saying or doing. They just want to get a reaction. Kanye truly believes what he's saying and doesn't really care about a reaction or not. He just basically wants you to understand, this is how I feel. All right. I got a new album coming out. I got some new, endeavors coming out in the future. Right. And I want to talk about what I'm believing. This is how I feel. This is what I believe in. Right. So that's what Kanye's doing. That's what Kanye's doing. But again, he's been lost. He's been a compromised, sunken place, coon caricature Negro for 10 years. He's beyond gone with these mental disorders that he has: Stockholm syndrome, cognitive dissonance, post-traumatic slavery disorder / syndrome. He has all of that, and a ton of more that have not been diagnosed with this guy, that I always talk about and reference on my channel. Right? So, anyway, family, those are my thoughts about Kanye West, and don't be surprised, he'll say more off the wall shit, and we're going to talk about it. That's the whole point of doing this calculated marketing campaign of how he truly feels. He really believes what he's saying. This is not something where he's going to go back and say, "Oh, I regret what I'm saying." No, he believes this. He's not going to waver. He's too far gone. Until how he was back when College Dropout came out till now. You'll never see the old Kanye, like he references. You'll never see the old Kanye return. It's going to be this compromised coon caricature, the author of the Coon Code type Negro, which you're seeing right now. You're going to see that, and you're going to see that continue to evolve and get bigger and bigger and bigger as time goes on. That's who he is, people. That's who he truly is. This is genuinely Kanye West. This This is not what they talk about with Gucci Man, where he got out of jail. Oh, it's a different Gucci Man because he's slimmer. No, this is how exactly Kanye West feels. That's it. Point blank and simple. So anyway, those are my thoughts about that. Leave your comments down below about what he said on TMZ, and let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. All right, make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also follow me on social media at GMOGMediaTV, Instagram and Twitter. All that good stuff is down below in the description. Until next time, family, Chauncey, aka the Black Separatist, signing out.